welcome back to another episode of Am I the A-Hole Horror Movie Edition. The way this works is I read the synopsis of a movie from the perspective of one of the characters, written in an Am I the A-Hole submission. The challenge is to see how fast you know what movie it is and who the character is who is speaking. And if you haven't seen the movie, maybe this will intrigue you and you'll find a new movie to watch. This one says, am I the a-hole for protecting my child? I, a 30-something-year-old woman, have a son. We'll call him Jacob.
Jacob?
Who has night terrors. He is 8 years old, very quiet, very smart, sensitive, and observant. I teach him to play the piano and hold him and comfort him at night when he wakes up from bad dreams.
There.
He claims he hears things in his walls, and I do my best to assure him that it is just his imagination. He has a wonderful imagination, and the house is old. It makes noise.
It was the chair.
Lately, he has been asking to dress up for Halloween. His father, Lucius, and I don't believe in doing Halloween. A child in our neighborhood disappeared on Halloween, and we just don't like the memory. Jacob woke up one night calling for his father, again saying he heard something. He pointed to a wall in his bedroom. His father humored him by listening and heard nothing. So in order to put a stop to the night terrors, Lucius told him it was rats.
Yes, the chair.
Jacob and Lucius spread rat poison in the house. Jacob didn't like that they would be killing the rats with the cinnamon-smelling poison. But of course, Lucius explained to him that sometimes protecting the family is worth the hard choices. Jacob apparently has a new teacher, Brenda. She stopped by the house one day to introduce herself. She was worried about a drawing Jacob made. The drawing showed him in his bed with the words, "Help me," written over the top. I explained to her about his night terrors and his imagination and kindly welcomed her to leave. I confronted Jacob about the picture, and he denied that he was asking for help. He said it was just a picture to be frightening because it's close to Halloween. He got into trouble at school. He pushed a kid down some stairs and the kid broke his leg. As a result, Jacob was expelled from school. Lucius and I did not understand. Jacob is not a violent kid. I told Lucius about the picture Jacob drew. I know I should have told him sooner. I was just hoping it really was nothing. Lucius asked Jacob about the picture and Jacob insisted that he really did hear a woman in the walls. Lucius, of course, said that wasn't possible and grounded him. He locked Jacob in the cellar, a place we reserve for an especially bad child. I don't like the harshness of the punishment, but what could we do? Jacob was exhibiting extreme violent behavior. We just love him so much.
I'm a terrible father.
Brenda, his nosy teacher, stopped by the house again. She said to drop off his math quiz. My husband didn't like her snooping around and invited her in. I put the quiz on the fridge. Jacob only missed 2 questions. He's so smart. Brenda asked where Jacob would be going to school, and Lucius informed her that we would be homeschooling him.
Amen.
She said that he was a troubled child whose behavior should be watched, implying that we should send him away. I freaked out. A mother does not send her child away. I told her that I think it is weird that she keeps coming over. She said that she just wanted to be sure Jacob was alright, implying that we might hurt him. I freaked out more. We love Jacob. We would never hurt him. Every decision we make is for his own good, to keep him safe. We would never give up on our child. While I was yelling at the teacher for implications, Jacob started banging on the door of the basement. Thankfully, the dryer noise covered most of the sound, and Lucius escorted her out of the house. I made delicious pumpkin cookies from our pumpkins in our pumpkin patch in the backyard and let Jacob out of the basement. We reminded Jacob that he needed to behave, stop telling stories about the house, and stop having nightmares. We put him to bed and told him we love him. We do so much. Jacob woke up the next morning screaming from another nightmare, but he wouldn't tell me what it was about. Poor thing. It must have been really scary. The morning after that, I saw him digging in the pumpkin patch. I got nervous and called to him. I went outside to see what he was doing, but he was just picking out a pumpkin to carve. I suppose it would be okay to carve a pumpkin since we can't take him trick-or-treating, and so I carved all the good pumpkins and left the rest to rot.
Goodbye, Mr. Faceholes.
I caught him on the phone in my bedroom. It turns out his nosy teacher had put her number on the test she brought home. He slammed the phone down when he heard me behind him. The teacher called back, so I answered it. I told her that Jacob had a crush on her and just wanted to talk to her, but he got shy. I took Jacob to his room, lecturing him about talking to strangers. They don't love him or have his best interest in mind, not the way his father and I do. That's when I saw the hole in his wall and I knew. The voices he had been hearing weren't nightmares. They were real. I was so scared. I shut myself in my room to wait for Lucius. What had she told him? Jacob overheard Lucius and I talking about what to do, how we could find a permanent solution to our problems. Lucius tried to pretend everything was okay and asked for Jacob's help in the pumpkin patch to dig a hole, to help him bury the rotting pumpkins.
My name is Stanley Yelnats.
We sat down to eat a dinner of soup, my specialty, and the doorbell rang. Damn trick-or-treaters. They bring up so many bad memories. I told them to go away and return to our family dinner. Lucius, to change the subject, said the soup was delicious but tasted different. After he mentioned it, I noticed it too. It tasted like cinnamon, the rat poison, and Jacob hadn't touched a drop. Lucius asked Jacob why he would do something like that, and he said, "You hurt my sister." Before I could call 911, Lucius vomited blood and fell down. He wasn't breathing. Jacob ran upstairs. I chased him, yelling he had to stop. He couldn't set her free. We had kept her hidden and safe in the wall in our bedroom for a reason. She, our beloved daughter, our first child, was born evil. She had killed the girl who had disappeared on Halloween. Before I could get to Jacob on the stairs, I started vomiting, my stomach twisting horribly. I managed to catch him, but in his fear and confusion, he kicked me, sending me tumbling down the stairs. He came down to me where I lay. I warned him, "Don't let her out." But he grabbed the keys I kept on me at all times. They were to the little door in the wall in our bedroom, and he ran back upstairs. As I lay dying, I hoped against hope that someone would save him. I could no longer protect him from her.
It's a great twist.
This is Cobweb, and it is told from the mother's perspective. Cobweb is a fun little horror movie streaming, I believe, on Netflix. It's one of those perfect little Netflix horror movies that if you want just something fun and casual, not super scary, there is a fun little sequence in the middle of it that is pretty creepy, but the rest of it I'd say is a little bit predictable. However, the ending does get a little bit gory and it's pretty fun. I feel like the twist of the sister being alive and hidden in the walls isn't really kept very good of a secret. However, the way that plays out is a fun ride. They do a good job of making you wonder whether or not the parents are good or bad the whole time. So, are the parents the a-hole? It's hard to say. I think you'd have to watch it for yourself to decide. Let me know in the comments what you thought about Cobweb. That's all I have for now. Thank you for watching. Until next time, take care of yourself and drink water. Bye-bye. Subscribe.